very briefly here. They will have a presentation. Thank you for their time. So your point of contacts in the next few years, till they leave these portals of LNMIIT, are these such kind of student leaders. These are the leaders that enabled our students to get prizes. It could be in computer programming contests, it could be business quizzes, it could be debate or essay competitions, it could be dance, drama, skits, or it could be karate, football, cricket, TT, whatever that. There is a structure in place using which you can really excel and balance between academic life and the physical and mental health related aspects, and going towards a wholesome personality rather than only subjects or only sports. Maybe a few points. We have a Google student ambassador. May I request that you to come over for a minute? All right. And Google has opened up Google Student Ambassador. Let's give a round of applause. While there are possibly 100 student Google ambassadors across India, she has put in the recent conference in Goa, LNMIIT in the top 10. She is your point of contact for all matters related to Google ambassador and activities. Thank you. She will meet with you in the next few programs. We have Google Development Center here. We have IEEE student chapter, very fairly active. We have CSI recently launched. Make use of any of them. These are all the kind of dreams that you can build besides 8.5 CPI, including 8.5 CPI and above, which they are very important. When Chinese are competing, don't take anything light. Last but not the least from my side, nurture these teams and never get into. I'm going to say a few things, and they are very dangerous things. And I want to be very explicit, not implicit. Don't get into smoking, consumption of alcohol, forget about drugs. Physical fighting, there is nothing called physically fighting in LNMIIT campus. You can't use bad words here. You can only make a decent complaint, a decent argument, a decent proposition, a decent negotiation. Because the penalty for any bad behavior is too severe for your parents. And I'm sure you don't want to give your parents severe punishment, right? First time you have come at the age of 16, 17 to do a BTech, please give them a gift of a wonderful job, a wonderful personality in the country.
Thank you, sir. It was so right. BTech life at LNMIIT is different. It's wonderful, and at the same time it's a challenge, because you new students, you have to take on the legacy of your seniors maybe in terms of sincerity, discipline, technical excellence, and success. You have to take on this legacy towards greater heights. So enjoyment, thrill, and at the same time dedication to your work is required. I now request Dean Academic Affairs to please come up and speak a few words of inspiration.
Thank you. I take this opportunity to welcome all of you here, and particularly for the first year students. It's the start of a new journey for you, and I'm happy that we are here to share this exciting moment with you. Let me sort of set things in context. I know that all of you have given the IIT JEE probably earlier this year. The first thing I would request you to do is, first of all, forget most of the IIT JEE exam. It's behind you, it's history. If at all you want to take some nuggets away from there, some distilled wisdom, like I need to work harder in X or I need to do Y, I think that nugget of wisdom is welcome and should probably stay with you. But the vast majority of everything that went on should be history and behind you, because there's a new exciting life ahead of you, and that's where your focus should be at this point in time. Look in front of you and not in the rear view mirror. Why do I say that? Sometimes in the past, I've spoken to students even in their 4th year, and they're still thinking, oh, maybe, if I had done this or that, my JEE rank would have been this or that. Forget it. I mean, honestly speaking, you're all here. This is an excellent opportunity for you. If at all, if at all you feel like, okay, your performance wasn't where you can be, work on that aspect of it. I have nothing against, recognizing that you have a higher potential, you have a greater ability than was displayed. That idea is okay. But direct that energy into the future. Okay, not into the past. And dissect the past only to the extent that it will allow you to identify, what are the things that you could perhaps have done better. Once you've identified that, apply those principles to the future and not to your past, right? So that's the first piece that I would like to share with you, because for some of you it may be recent memory, and we all carry with us our memories, and most of them are valuable, but being overly caught up with the past is also not necessarily productive. Okay. Having said that, in fact, that is part of the reason we have this extended orientation program for you. We want you to get you focused on your future, right? So we want you to sort of see a glimpse of that exciting world that lies ahead of you. We will be having several speakers who will be coming in over the next few days to share with you their excitement about the worlds that they have seen, and there are many different exciting opportunities in front of you. So we want you to sort of pick up a few of those exciting possibilities and explore how you can become a part of that. Now, having said all of that, there is also, of course, a ground reality, right? The ground reality is that once the orientation session is over, your education will start in earnest. And I don't mean to disrespect all of the teachers who have come before us, but really, the next 4 years are your opportunity to take yourself to a completely different worldview, let me put it that way, right? Because there are two things. First of all, the quality of faculty here is excellent. I want you to take advantage of that. Many of them have experiences with the best institutes in the world, which includes the IITs and the IIMs, mostly the IITs, I would say, and others also. The other faculty are excellent. So I would say that take advantage of that, because that is the biggest source of inspiration, of learning that you will get. Yes, we have textbooks, we have the wonderful library, we have wonderful courses about which I'll speak in a minute, but the greatest resource available to you here is the faculty. I want you to engage with them. I want you to learn from them. When you have a question, we are all extremely welcoming of students knocking on our doors with questions. Some of us may structure it a little bit, others may keep it unstructured, but we all certainly want to do whatever we can to share our knowledge, our insights, our experiences with you to make life better for you and for society at large through you, right? So now, having said all of that, let me focus on at least a little bit on the nuts and bolts of things, right? When you're here, it's a 4-year program. It's 8 semesters, so we have a semester system. Some of you may have come from a system where you study for 2 weeks before every 2 years before the exams. Let me say that that is not going to work here. So let me repeat that because it's that important. You will have to study continuously throughout each and every day, throughout each semester, if you want to be successful here, right? And let me put it this way, the alternative is not good. So we want all of you to succeed, and therefore each of you should grades along with the credits as weights. You compute the weighted average and you get your cumulative performance index. A few benchmarks for you to keep in mind. I already mentioned one. 5.0 you need for graduation. Typically, most companies who come to recruit on campus will not even look at your resume if your CPI is not 6.0. So I would encourage you strongly, because even though many of you might be a little more sympathetic and might say, okay, we are willing to judge your capability based on various things, you know, the recruitment world can be, you know, very ruthless, let me put it that way, right? So if your CPI is not 6.0, they will not even look at your resume or your CV. So it's extremely important that you keep your CPI above 6.0. And anything, of course, you do above that is great. And I don't mean to say that, you know, your CPI is the one and only measure of your, you know, success or happiness, but it is certainly an important component of it. So please don't take it lightly. I mean, you know, since you're all in your, you know, beginning of your life here, let me say that, you know, if somebody tells you your CPI or SPI is not important, ignore it, because it is important. It is not the only measure of your success or happiness, but it is important. It is an important component by which everybody else measures you, particularly when it comes to your academics or, you know, when they're trying to recruit you for a job. So having said that, what are the other things, you know? So we, of course, you know, we know that you're more than one-dimensional, and we appreciate that and we encourage that. Some of the other things that we hope some of you will get involved with, many of our undergraduate students are actually excellent at doing research. We encourage that. So for instance, we will hope that the best of you will actually, you know, build on the academics that we impart to you here, to think outside the box, to innovate, to create new knowledge, to publish it in international journals, to go to international conferences and report on your work. And you know, again, as I said, the pathway to that is not that much different. You know, you have to work hard, you have to understand your subjects, and then you have to stretch the boundaries of knowledge. Right? That's where you start creating these new knowledge pieces. That's where you get to write a journal article or publish in an international journal or in an international conference. And that's again where I would encourage you very strongly to interact with your faculty, because they are aware of what the current boundaries of knowledge is and how to push you above and beyond that. And so your efforts will be multiplied tenfold if you take up the discussion with your faculty members here. You'll be more efficient, more productive, and you'll feel more proud of what you achieve as a result of that. So with that, I noticed that my time for speaking is almost up, and I know that I'm standing between you and high tea. So I will not go on too much longer, except to say a couple of words in closing. You know, we all believe that we have the potential of making this institute great. And the way this institute is going to get great is going to be as a result of two things. And I will not put all of the responsibility on the students, because I know that we as faculty and we in the administration certainly have a role to play there. But ultimately, the way the world will judge whether this was a successful institute, whether we are a quality institute, is by what you do. You will, I mean, we churn out 300 students every year. Over a period of, you know, a decade, the number of students that will be out there in the world will far outnumber the number of faculty, the number of staff that we have. And so the impact that the students and the alumni can have is proportionately greater. You will interact with more people out there in the world, and so you are a key component of making the institute successful. We recognize that, and of course we are here, we know that we have a part.
Let us, sir, to please say a few words.
I apologize for starting the program a little late, and as Professor Anupam Singh was mentioning, we have to go for a high tea. But may I request one student, young student who has joined our institute today, and one of the parents, you know, to come and share their thoughts on the opening day with all of us. And I have one student. Anybody? Nobody? I think you can do better than that. Any one student. Parent side, any parent would like to share their thoughts with us? If nobody says, then I'm going to tell that I gave you the opportunity, but you didn't want to take that opportunity. Then whatever I do would be the final word. Is it agreeable to all of you? Come on guys, you can do better than that. One parent and one student. Yeah, thank you.
Very good morning to all of you, sir. To start with, I must say I am very much delighted with the surroundings over here. It's really nice environment. And I hope and I wish that the students who have joined here, they will really use it to their advantage. The faculty over here, I mean, as they might have observed by now, is really excellent. So I request all the students over here, please utilize the resources available over here, including the faculty, including the environment. Please try to utilize to the full of your advantage and try to excel in your life. You have a great future lying ahead, and I wish you all the best. Thank you.
To keep you quiet. All right, maybe you will have another opportunity. Thank you.
The parent of a student for expressing the wishes and desires of all the parents, I believe, out here, and all the students also. Everyone has come here to make a successful life, and we hope they are going to make it. I now request the three dignitaries to please proceed to line two. Professor A.P. Singh to extend a vote of thanks for the event.
Thank you. In case you think I'm standing between you and your high tea, sorry, I'm not. I'm just going to take a minute to bring a conclusion to this wonderful morning that we've had. As you might have gathered from the many talks that we've had this morning, they all represent the motto of this institute, which some of you might have had occasion to read already. Excellence is our motto, discipline is our way. What you heard from all the dignitaries is nothing but an elaboration of how this is what we try to do at LNMIIT. Okay, my simple job is to really propose a vote of thanks, and to begin with, what I would like to do is to propose a vote of thanks to all the Y13 batch of students. You have arrived. Before this event began, you were still in transit. When this function is over, you are now already part of this institute. So may I request you to give a vote of thanks to yourselves. Of course, we are also thankful to the few parents who have been able to come today. I know many of them came yesterday and day before. Today being a working day might not have been convenient to them, but we would like to thank, of course, all the parents for having put their faith and trust in our ability to deliver the careers that we are looking for. The next set of thanks really go out to the organizers of this event. Dean Student Affairs did bring to you the present students and the leaders of the present student community, but you might not be aware that this event and the organization of this event, his name is Ankit. I would of course like to thank the counseling cell, which has really made all the arrangements possible, and the way we've gone about over the last 3 days.
those of you who came on Saturday and Sunday will have felt a certain welcome that has been part and parcel of the counseling cell, which is headed by Dr. Akhlaq Hussain. Could you please just come for a moment? Please, a word of thanks. Over the next 15 days, he and also Dr. Niyogi, who stood in while he was away for a while, Dr. Niyogi sir, and all the rest of the counseling team are going to be with you through this 15-day period, of which today is only the first event. Of course, all the students of the counseling cell, the administration, which has again helped set up so many of these things here. Let's not forget Dr. Usha Khanungo, who was announcing and making this entire event, coordinated this entire event so wonderfully well. And finally, of course, the deans who gave you a clear view of what student life is about, what academic life is all about. And of course, our director, who has given you the entire sweep of possibilities, not only on the Monday, 12th of August, but we are now talking about the 4 years here and in fact beyond. And last of all, let's not forget to start where we began, the Almighty, for having created this opportunity for you to be here and for us to be able to work with you. Also for giving us a clear day, and with the Almighty's blessings, we now conclude this event. So thank you very much, and join us now for the high tea. Thank you.
An announcement, it's for the students that we have few laptop dealers who are available at near the registration area. So whoever is interested in buying a laptop with them and having any discussion or any inquiries if they have.